Hey guys, and welcome back to another reaction video. This is for the newest episode of Steven Universe, When It Rains. And I've got to say, it was a pretty good episode, in my opinion at least. I mean, that's what I say about every episode, but I mean, they're all pretty good. In this episode, the Crystal Gems try talking to Peridot to get more information about the cluster. They're unsuccessful, so Steven jumps in and starts to get more information about the cluster. And Peridot actually reveals that the cluster is actually basically is a bigger version of the gem mutants that we've been seeing throughout the past few episodes. And just scale one of the mutants to like maybe 1,000 times bigger, maybe probably like 1,000 times bigger. She described it as a collection of about a million gem shards, sort of like hibernating at the Earth's core, and once it emerges, it will be bigger than the Earth and destroy it once it hatches. So yeah, and Peridot actually needs Steven's help to try and stop it because of his knowledge of Earth. Because there was a thunderstorm going on, and Peridot runs out the bathroom and thinks that the cluster is actually hatching, but no, it was just thunder. And Steven explains the concept of lightning and thunder and all that stuff. And he actually goes outside, starts playing around in the rain. And Peridot is actually worried for Steven, which I think is the first time that we've seen Peridot's more like human side in a way, or her feelings, that she actually cares about Steven and not only needs him for, information and stuff. And he says, "Oh, it's fine, come outside." And she actually reaches out her hand and touches the rain. And it was a cute little scene, She actually trusts Steven and what he says. But after that, she explained the cluster, and they go to the kindergarten to look at her old files because everything else was thrown away into the ocean. Thank you, Amethyst. But yeah, they go to the kindergarten to retrieve her files, and there are tons and tons and tons of little gem mutant clusters that show up on the monitors for the main kindergarten. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They leave the kindergarten, but as they were leaving, a bunch of gem mutants appear and start to chase and attack Steven and Peridot. Steven pulls up his shields, not his shield, his bubble, and protects them. And Peridot just starts freaking out, like, do something, like, I am doing something, like, do something useful. I'm like, oh my god, Peridot. She's so paranoid. I mean, she acts like a little kid, probably because she is one. She's probably younger than Amethyst, because I think while they were describing what they were using the gem shards for, I think Steven asked her, like, and if she knew about that. If she was like around that time, and she was like, no, unfortunately I wasn't able to be around that time, but she read a couple hundred years of that information. So that pretty much kind of shows that she may be around Amethyst stage, but most likely a little bit younger. Probably like a couple hundred years younger than her. But yeah, I think I covered up pretty much everything about the episode. Oh, and at the end, the Crystal Gems come in and save the day by defeating all of the Gem Mutants, and Peridot actually stands up for herself and like changes her mind and actually goes to tell the Crystal Gems the information about the cluster. I think that's pretty much it. But all in all, it was a pretty good episode. I mean, Peridot's always nice to see, especially when she's so short. She's like so fucking cute. I can see that her and Steven's bond is growing stronger every single day. And actually, Steven explained to Peridot what he was when Peridot said that. When you emerge from the ground. And she was like, well, you are some type of quartz. And then he explained how he's half human and half gem and stuff like that. He said, explain to you in the Ballad of Rose and Greg. But Peridot didn't want to hear it, so we might get to hear that later on in the later episode. But other than that, it was actually a really good episode. I know I've said that a whole bunch of times in this video, but I'm still gonna keep saying it. Oh, I think that maybe one day that Peridot and Steven's bond will grow so strong that they might, maybe, be able to fuse. I don't know yet, because Steven hasn't been able to fuse with any of the other gems, and he's known them longer than anyone else. So maybe we might get to see a Peridot and Steven fusion. Maybe a Lapis and Steven too, if Lapis ever shows up again. Because they bonded as well. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe you guys will draw some fan art of that. Steven and Peridot fusion, or Lapis and Steven fusion, stuff like that. Besides that, thank you guys for watching this episode of Steven Universe Reaction and my thoughts of it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.